Hello again, world. Justin Tucker. We're going to continue on with the video tutorial series of the Drupal 7 convention and membership, and where we left off was pretty much with the calendar, getting this built and getting it thrown on the page. I'm going to go into this calendar a little bit more and create another view that shows us the events in a list format before we have to be in the month of May. The other thing I just noticed is that in the last video I was incorrect, thinking that the start date was May 15th, and that's what I based these dates around. That is actually wrong. The start date is June 1st. Anyway, just admitting to that mistake. It's a small matter. It was just to demonstrate that this works. But what we can do is go into this particular view. Again, another way to get there would be through views into the all content per registration event, and then inside there I've got these multiple displays, and we could go into the event information. You'll notice that these are the same places. I'm actually switching windows right now. So here we have our calendar. We made this in the last video, and what I'm going to do here is simply clone this and call it, I don't know, event information list, for lack of a better term. We're going to take calendar to probably unformatted list for right now. Just changing the format type, and show calendar entities. This will only work with a calendar, so we don't need that. Let's say fields. We'll bring in the title, image, and date, but for this, however, I wonder what happens if okay, it still tries to bring in. Okay, it's bringing in the header because we're still trying to paginate it. We're going to need to get rid of this contextual filter so that we can see the list. And the idea here is that we're showing the events to the user before we have to be in the month that the events are. So I think I had previously, excluded the date from the display. You can do custom here. I'll just say month, date, year. There's a link here to the PHP manual on the different date formats and what the different letters mean to produce the format that you're after. Okay, and then I need to change this to display all items, and I need to get rid of the date contextual filter. And then there's my list. So it's still contextually aware of the event it belongs to, the registration event it belongs to. And here we go. And I could give this a name. Go ahead and save that. And if we go back here, now it's just a question of where do we place it on this incredibly ugly page at the moment. And I'm just going to place it below the current calendar for now. Let's see, where is this? There it is, event information list per event. Go ahead and save that. And then what this should produce is the calendar on the right with a list of the events under it. And that's exactly what we want. So that, okay, visually in April we got nothing, but we can still express to the user in May, here's some events coming up. So that functions perfectly. And that will probably conclude this quick tutorial on just kind of a little bit more calendar and event work. This is actually just a standard list display, contextually aware like the other views are. whereas like we were demonstrating, the calendar view is the more complicated one because you need to have the contextual date to invoke the calendar display. So that should be fairly straightforward, but nonetheless it is in there now, and we'll continue on building these sections out, getting them placed, making them look good. Like I said in the other video, we probably will be changing this up as well, meaning, I don't know, the meals and the shirts we may leave in there, but the member registrations we might just leave as links to go click to open up a new page. The reason I think that might be okay, usability, and again, this is kind of usability theory, there's a lot of fields to fill out on this registration example we have going. So in my mind, it's not a bad thing to get the user to a dedicated spot to just focus on only those fields and not be distracted or confused by other items. So that would be the argument, at least. The other things like this that are a bit more simple maybe could be, I don't know, we'll explore it. Maybe put in a different section of, call those add-ons or something, because like we were discussing, these registrations may actually encompass a shirt and a meal, and we'll have a different video about how to capture those fields as part of this registration form that you're collecting their first name, last name, and all this other stuff with. But there's also this idea of an a la carte or an individual purchased item, and that's what these represent. So again, right now they're just all kind of thrown on the page, not really a lot of guidance or instruction to the user. So we're going to try to address some of those usability issues, UX issues, in some upcoming videos. So if you guys like these videos, please subscribe. If you've got any comments, questions, or feedback, please reach out. Otherwise, I will conclude this video. I'll see you on the next one.